Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. Lakers driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. I'm Chris McGee, the Hall of Famer Big Game James Worthy, the champion Karan Butler. Allie Clifton will be here as well. Trudell, Brez, they'll handle the post-game interviews. Happy Mamba Day, everyone, as we remember the life of Kobe Bryant. Gianna and the other 7 lost on that tragic day, January 26th. It is 8:24, and the Lakers had a playoff game against the Portland Trailblazers. Remember, their first game back after the passing of Kobe Bryant was against the Portland Trailblazers. So fitting that they played them on 8:24 in a series. The Lakers now go to a 3-1 advantage from the opening tip. It was all Lakers. They started out 15-0. They scored 43 points. How fitting that they built up a 24-point lead. Never looked back.
Yeah, we were just discussing before we came on the air that that's what a 1-seed team is supposed to do to an 8-seed team. We know Portland is a little bit better than an 8-seed team, but nevertheless, you know, they had the one hiccup, playing in the bubble, trying to get back on track, but they look like they have arrived. And the defense is what's been holding them up. They've been playing pretty good defense pretty much all throughout the bubble. But 17 threes, Geeter, I know you like that. That's coming to fruition now. They're starting to play team ball. They're starting to play by committee. The bench is coming in. You know, Howard, McGee blocking shot. Kuz, very patient, waiting for his shot. So I think they have arrived finally in the bubble playing the kind of ball that they were playing before all this started.
I think arrived, engaged, and we touched on it, prior to the game. This is almost a must-win situation.
Yes.
Because, look, you can't take your foot off the gas in these moments. And I think that LeBron has set the stage. And once he started hitting shots, bouncing around, you touched on it, Geeter, he was everywhere. He looked like he was the youngest person on the floor. So when you're playing like that, offensively and defensively, and then AD joins that party, KCP joins the party, all night long, your boy, Daddy Green, it's on.
Told you he was hitting 3 threes.
Oh, yeah. Great
Blouses. Let's go back to Orlando. AD is with Mike Trudell.
All right, Anthony Davis with us. AD, if I could start just by asking you how the back is feeling after you left in that third quarter.
Back is fine. We got a little tight. Coach didn't want to risk it. And we were playing great basketball where we had a big enough lead where, I was still kind of keeping it loose just in case I had to go back in. But, the team did a great job of making sure that I can get my back all the way healthy. So I'll be fine. But the back is good.
Anthony, you feel like you'll be able to go next game if you need to, depending on how you feel tomorrow?
Tomorrow? 100%. No question. Like I say, even when I was out, I was still getting treatment on it. It loosened up where I was able to go back in if I needed to. So I'll 100% be playing game 5.
All right, AD, it's Mamba Day. You guys came out in those dope jerseys. What was it like feeling that spirit of Kobe? You guys certainly got shot out of a cannon in that first quarter, and just wondered how much you were thinking about Kobe.
It was great. Obviously we felt like we let him down the first time. It's ironic because we played Portland, our first game back, after the horrific tragedy. So, and we're able to come and get these guys again, and they beat us the first time and kind of, ruined the day for us. And so we wanted to come out and put a lot of energy and effort, for Kobe, represent these jerseys and represent him well. And we did that from start to finish. We played excellent basketball all 4 quarters and was able to come out and get the win for us.
I know he meant so much to you starting when you met him with Team USA when you were just 19. Did you notice the 24-8 score in that first quarter and just stuff like that going on?
I didn't, actually. That's pretty crazy. It always seemed like, when we play, it's always some Kobe reference with our score or with our percentage or anything like that. So I didn't notice that, but it's him looking down on us. When it first happened, Coach told us he's like our 6th man, like the movie 6th Man. So he's with us for here, for now and forever.
Anthony, last thing for you. Not sure if you had a chance to see the events in Wisconsin tonight with another police shooting. I just wanted to give you the chance to weigh in as you guys keep pushing for social reform and justice as you're down there in the bubble.
and we want justice for Jacob Blake. You know, the good thing is that he is stable and survived, but from what I heard, the details, he was breaking up a fight and was walking to his car and got shot 7 times. So it's unacceptable. It's something while we're continuing to talk and try to find justice for him and for everyone else who've been a victim. So for us, it's continue to push the envelope on every situation on social justice, and it doesn't stop. Even though we're playing basketball and doing the things that we're supposed to do, our mind is also there 100% of the time and still trying to find ways to create change.
All right, thanks a lot, Anthony.
All right, thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Most three-point field goals made in the playoffs. Game 2, they set a record versus the Trailblazers. Remember, they shot 16 or 15% in Game 1. They only made 5. Game 2, they got the win. They made 14. It's a new record. Game 4 tonight, it's another record. 17. AD set the tone in the first. LeBron had that look, but the three-pointers, big game. Lakers were on tonight, sharing that basketball.
Yeah. I mean, we knew that they were going to get back to shooting the 3-ball, at least to an extent.
4 of 5 from 3. He also had the 10 assists and the 6 rebounds. We showed him walking in to the arena in our pregame show in the opening, and he had that look. You said it. And then he comes out, and you just knew it from the opening tip that this was a game he wasn't losing.
Look, he was dialed in from the jump, and like Big Game touched on, looked like the youngest player on the floor. He had that bounce to him, and he understood the moment. And I think he's one of the guys, this in NBA history, when we talk about guys that maximize the moments and understand them best, he's on that short list. And I think that he led and tapped into it, and everybody else followed.
Is there a better way to honor Kobe than coming out and playing like that?
Playing like that with the Mamba mentality, quality win, very, very important.
I want to talk AD as well. AD did not have a great first half in Game 3, but in the second half, you guys were talking in the pregame show. You flipped that switch, dominance, Lakers roll. Game 4 tonight, first quarter, James. When he comes out 4 of 5, 16 points, and he has that kind of roll going, what does that do for this team? What does that tell the opponent?
You said it. It sets the tone, and the opponents, sometimes the opponents, they expect you, or they plan on you being, not soft, but maybe not so engaged. But when he comes out in the first quarter and he lets you know that this is the way it's going to be, blocking shots, tracking layups to the rim and blocking shots, and then his jump shot is on point right now. I don't mind that shot from the elbow. So when he comes out and sets a tone like that, then you got LeBron doing the same thing. It's double trouble.
But he hit it on the head, I think, Karan, from the elbow. Like, there's just a difference when he's kind of out getting balls 25, 28 feet first touch. He's way beyond the three-point line. But when he's attacking, I think initially, then I think it opens up everything else later. Like, he had 0 3-point attempts in the first quarter, but had 16.
Yeah, he had a calculated plan. Look, I'm going to, kill him short first and then work my way out, but never had to get to that point. And just to touch on what you asked, Big Game, do you know how deflating it is to have a game plan and then look up and you're down 24?
Tell me, you played in this league. When you have a game plan.
It's extremely deflating when you have your best effort from basketball minds, watching film session, like, oh, we're going to guard this that way. You look at the bench, it's like, yo, that didn't work. Then you'll guard it this way. It didn't work. Now you just deflated. Like, it's like the air is taken out of the arena.
Yeah, it's like you get a flat tire. You put your spare tire on, and then 5 miles down the road, you get a not flat tire. You ain't got nothing.
Do you
AAA?
Do you have one in mind that pops? Like, is there something that ever sticks out? Like, just where you had a plan, your team had a plan, was a playoff for a game, and that just plan was not working.
Man, after 3 years in a row playing against LeBron James.
Did it?
Yeah, man. Washington Wizards. I said, look, we're gonna turn him to a scorer. He can do that. We're gonna turn him to a passer. Yeah. Oh, he's great at that.
Yeah.
We like whatever you try to take away from him, he capitalized in another area, and then he made the adjustment. So, I mean, he's been doing it for years in this game.
You were saving that suit for tonight, weren't you?
Yeah, I saved the suit and the tie.
I see. Let's show the shoes too, real quick.
Oh yeah, baby.
We got a 90-minute postgame.
Undefeated, baby. Undefeated.
Are we undefeated in those?
Yeah, bro.
Can't go. You can't.
The game. We got some messages on people like your outfit tonight. People like your shoes too.
Hey, I'm old school, man.
Yeah, you're looking good.
The boy to help.
All right, let's get you to the highlights. We'll take you out to the bubble. Lakers taking on the Blazers. 135 to 115. LeBron James with 30.6 rebounds, 10 assists. Kuz with 18. Anthony Davis with 18 in 18 minutes. Most points in a playoff game since 1987, when Big Game, Cap, and Magic put 141 on the Boston Celtics. I was a young man in high school, and I enjoyed every minute of that, just like I did this one. 135 to 115. We bring in Allie Clifton. What stood out to you? I'm curious. I wanted to ask you two things, but first for you, what stood out, and then I'll ask you my question after.
Okay, two things. When it comes to you, just like your kick game tonight, undefeated. You are undefeated because you threw me this lob to my point that stood out to me. You mentioned when it comes to guarding LeBron James, you tried making him a scorer at one point. You thought, okay, he's good at that. Then you tried making him a passer, and you're like, he's kind of good at that too. What happens when he has both going?
He's unguardable.
Right. So I think it's time to pitch it to his buddy, Dwayne Wade, who mentioned that, who is now watching on the couch for the first time since retirement. Check out this tweet. This LeBron is a scary sight for anyone guarding him. So these are the points that stood out to me. After games 1 and 2, Bron was 42% from the field, 13% from deep. Games 3 and 4, 70% from the field, 62% from deep. 10 assists, 2 turnovers.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I wasn't here on Saturday, but we were all feeling after game 2 when it was 1-1. He only had, 10 points? Like, we hadn't had that LeBron game yet. We all knew it was coming. We've now seen 2 in a row. But just the look he had, as James said, he looked like the youngest guy on the floor. You've seen that more than anyone. When you saw it tonight, did you know it's over?
When he starts hitting his 3-ball,
yeah,
that's when you know it's over.
Yeah.
And not to mention, when you put games 3 and 4 together and you look at the numbers, whether it's,
nice.
we feel good about it.
Fresh, too.
Yeah, and he looks fresh for sure. And listen, Lakers 30-point double-double streaks since 2010 in Laker playoff history. Kobe Bryant, 2010, 3. LeBron, 2020, 2. Remember, there's a game coming up, and it's a closeout game on Wednesday.
And God forbid he sees this this graphic right here, because he'll be thinking about. But also thinking, Allie.
We're going to have Andrew Miller, our graphics producer. He's going to send that over to
Allie can attest to this.
I'll post it.
If he knows that he can get Kobe's record, he won't let that affect the way he plays the game, will he? Or is he a record-breaking kind of guy? He'll try to get Kobe's record.
I think when it comes to LeBron, it's all about the team.
Yes.
It's all about winning. He understands what comes along with winning, but that's what is priority. And I think when it comes to that, that's one of those where it's just like, I always feel so honored and great to be linked with the greats. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they got the win, they got it in dominating fashion, and they still have so much left to earn and accomplish.
He'll probably do it without even thinking about it.
Dame Lillard, we saw that in the highlight. Nothing you want to see. You never want anything bad to happen to anybody, especially a superstar like Dame. So you hope he's going to be okay. But it did look just looked a little awkward, right?
Yeah, it looked funky. And the thing is, a lot of people, I saw conversations happen on social media where
that's dangerous.
Luka didn't actually come back, right?
Right.
Luka actually came back, but Dame didn't. So it put you in a position like, you know what? It might be a little more serious than everybody's thinking.
Not to mention, you also think it's never going to be an excuse. You know that when it comes to Damian Lillard. But the way in which he has played to this point in such a short amount of time, and that wear and tear on his body, the situation he is in now.
And by the way, when you're down 30 and that happens, there's no way you come back, right? If you're the Portland Trail Blazers, hey, let's see, we don't know how serious this is. Let's wait, and then hopefully he can play in Game 5.
That's what you hope, but it didn't look.
Lakers have actually done a good job on him. Considering what he was doing to the rest of the league in the bubble, averaging 46 a game.
It is very, very hard to put that kind of pressure on any one player.
Yeah.
Every night, 35, 40 minutes plus, multiple shots. He's a guard. He's always moving laterally, stopping really quick. At some point, it can be a problem. You plant that knee or your leg one time, and it just kind of awkward, pop that he had there. I hope he's okay, man. But I don't see him trying to come back unless he's 100%.
Let's go back to the bubble. KCP is speaking with Brez in the media.
Hey, Contavious, what does it mean to you guys to come out strong and win on Kobe Bryant Day?
Means a lot. The reason why we wearing the jersey, the Mamba jerseys, is for him, to honor him. and we wanted to come out aggressive and not look back, keep our foot on the gas.
How about your team offensively tonight? 80 points in the first half and 134 total. That total, by the way, the most for the team in a playoff game since 1987. What was different tonight for you guys? So what was feeling good for you out there?
I feel like our pace that we had when we came out to start the game. We from the jump, we were running the floor in transition, getting easy buckets, getting easy threes in transition, and we wanted to keep that pace throughout the whole game.
Did you get a chance to talk to Anthony Davis? Obviously, he was on the sideline starting early in the third quarter because of those back issues. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. Just a little back spasm, but he should be good.
Thank you.
All right, if you do have a question, let's go to Manolo now.
Yes, there's been a lot of Mamba mentality throughout this whole bubble, specifically on the playoff. 50 points, various teams, various games with 50 points. And then Luka Doncic last night, today CP3. What does it mean for you guys? You know, having that much of the Mamba mentality atmosphere in the bubble with you guys with the blowout tonight.
I mean, that's been our thing since the season started. You know, we wanted to have that Mamba mentality and just lock in on what we're playing, whatever situation it is. And then that's our mindset. You know, we just try to keep that installed with each other and just continue to play hard, you know, for each other.
Mike, did you have another?
We have such a year.
Yeah. Cool. Let's toss it over there to you guys.
Were you guys trying to get to 81 in the first half?
I don't think that was what we was trying to get to. I think we were just playing with the flow of the game. There you go. We were knocking down shots. We ran it in the first half. So I don't think we were personally trying to get to 81. We just got there.
You notice how close you were? Like, with like a minute left, LeBron scored like, I think like 7 points in a row to get you guys pretty close.
I didn't realize that. It was just the flow of the game, and I was just trying to stay focused within that. Not, you know what I'm saying, pretty much try to make that a point while I was on the floor. So it was just better for me to just stay in the flow of the game.
What about you scored the basket when it was 24-8, and then you go to the free throw line. Did you have a moment to kind of look at the scoreboard and see that?
I did see that, and I was definitely mad because I missed the free throw. But I did see the 24-8 up there, which is always cool to see his numbers, you know, everywhere. And just us to be out there in the Mamba jersey, we all just felt the energy. You know, we just played off the energy.
Lakers, Blazers, Game 5 on Wednesday. Game time is at 6. Our coverage starts with Access Sportsnet Lakers at 5. Let's hear from Frank Vogel, who's speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, Frank, LeBron and AD both spoke in their walk-up interviews powerfully about the Jacob Blake situation. Of course, tonight was also Mamba Day, and all of that was going on. How do you think you guys were able to stay focused on the basketball during the game amidst everything else that's been going on?
Well, we've had that type of focus all year. We've had a lot of things going on away from the basketball court that we've had to manage while staying focused. So, you know, I just commend our guys for, you know, making sure that, you know, we're honoring Kobe's memory on Kobe Bryant Day, being vocal about racial injustice, and still staying locked into the task at hand, which is, you know, beating a very difficult opponent tonight.
And Frank, just in lieu of the events in Wisconsin tonight, what have you seen from your players throughout this time in the bubble as they've tried to react to the various things that have been going on socially and representing for racial injustice and things along those lines? How has that hit you?
Yeah, well, you see how it impacts our players, but it really impacts our whole league, you know, our whole staff. You see the coaches wearing the pins. You know, these things can't keep happening, you know, and we've been very intent on staying strong on the message, that we have to fight against racism, excessive force in the police departments, and again, just a sad, sad day that this happened again. So we'll continue to raise awareness.
Hey Frank, it's Dave. What correlation, if any, was tonight's result with the thought process and the honoring of Kobe Bryant for you guys? One of your stronger games all year. And then also, did you notice the score when it read 24-8 in your guys' favor?
Wow, I did not notice it, and it's an emotional day, obviously, and it's interesting that the first time we took the court, it was against this team. The first time we took the court after Kobe passed and Gigi passed, it was against this team. So we lost that game, and I think our guys probably carried a little bit more importance from that. Just wanted to make sure that we performed at a high level, and we're able to just do a great job of that and play a great game. Everybody on the team did their job tonight, and they all contributed, and it was a great team win.
Hey Frank, you guys have obviously been carrying Kobe's memory with you throughout this restart. It was the first time in months and months and months that you guys have played a game where Kobe's memory was such an overt presence in the signage around the arena, obviously the uniforms. How different was the emotional energy of this game because of all of that? And did it remind you at all, obviously you're in the bubble now, but did it remind you at all of some of those first games after the tragedy?
It definitely did remind me of that. The emotional aspect did feel different than any other game we played since we've been in the bubble. Obviously Kobe is dearly missed, and it's just to have a game on 8/24, Kobe Bryant Day. I think all of us in our whole organization, but in particular our players, felt that and carried that emotion onto the playing court.
Tanya Ganguli.
We're still mad about losing that first game. Do you see that from the players that even though you're up 3-1, they're still we're so mad about that?
It's the care factor. Our guys really care. They take great pride in being a great basketball team. We have high aspirations to win a championship this year, and anytime we get scored on, our guys get mad. So not surprising to hear him say that he was mad and we were mad we lost game one. But look, this is a terrific opponent we're playing, and our guys are raising to the challenge. But Portland is a great basketball team. They're very well coached, and the firepower they have offensively, is very challenging to deal with. So, I'm happy to hear KCP has that type of care factor. Our whole group does.
All right, last question. Kyle, sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. Just first AD, I guess in his walk-off said he was fine and expects to play game 5. Just one, what was the decision-making behind making sure that he left in that third quarter? And two, is the AD that you saw in the first 10 minutes of this game sort of the one that you've been waiting for consistently and at the start of games?
Well, everybody can't be at their best all the time. I've been happy with how AD's performed. There's been some nights where, he's being selfless, moving the basketball along, but he was absolutely dominant to start this game tonight. Just absolutely dominant. I don't think I've ever seen a plus 37 in 17 minutes type of performance like I did from Anthony Davis on both sides of the ball tonight. What he did defensively, he had one play where he had 2 deflections on both sides of the guy he was guarding, and then dove on the floor and got a loose ball and got us going on the break. There's several blocks, deflections, containment plays. He was just all over the place on the defensive end, and then he was making everything. So, just a dominant performance to start the game for us.
All right. Frank,
10 in this series, and he's now speaking with the media.
Hey, LeBron, I wanted to know what it was like to go out there with Kobe, surely on your guys' mind and heart. And did you notice the moment early on when you were up 24-8 in the first quarter?
It was an honor. It's been an honor to just put on the Laker uniform, even before the passing of the great Kobe Bryant. And tonight was another one of those moments for myself, for this organization, for all the players that was able to wear those uniforms that he that was inspired by him and his mind and his creativity. So to go out there and one day removed from his birthday, and then his day of 8/24 to be able to have a game on this day, the stars aligned. I did notice that we were up 24-8 because I'm always trying to figure out what's going on throughout the course of the game. I'm always looking if we're up, if we're down, what's the team fouls and all of that nature. And when I looked up there and seen 24-8, I was like, okay, this is he's here in the building. So. You know, it's a beautiful night for our franchise, and it's something that we probably will always remember. You know, Game 4 of the 2020 playoffs in this moment.
Hey, LeBron, just thinking about today and being Mama Day, what does the Mama mentality mean to you specifically, and how do you think part of that might have played out?
Just work hard. I mean, there's not much more you could say. Everyone has their own definition about it or their own mantra about it, but you don't see any benefits if you don't work. And I've always been like that. And to be able to continue his legacy is something that hits home for me, and it's easy for me because I put in the work. And if you want to see results, you gotta work at it. And it's not about the wins or the losses and you know, all of that nature. Is just about, a lot of people want to see results, but a lot of people don't want to put in the work. And he wasn't one of those guys, and I'm not one of those guys. So it's just an honor to be able to continue that legacy.
What was it about the offense, not just tonight, but last night, that it started to fall into place with LeBron, the entire team, and look, 3-point shots going down seems to be part of that. But so what has come together on that end for you guys this quickly?
We just want to get better every game. You know, we're seeing things that we can do better. The most important thing we've done in this series is we've taken our in-between games, film sessions, our meetings, and we've applied them to that next day. You know, we look at film, we watch film, we know it's not much practice time, and you really can't really get on the floor too much because you're playing every other day. So you know that next day is kind of the recovery day and things of that nature, but our minds are sharp and our minds are firing when we're in our film sessions, and that's been huge for our ball club so far.
Allie? Joe Varden?
I forget what it is, but your record in closeout games is way up there. Does it feel good, one, to be back in this situation, closeout games, and what do you remember about what it takes to finish these off?
It's the hardest game of a series. That's what I know. It's the hardest game because you know the team that you're playing with are desperate, and they're playing all, you know, everything they're gonna have. You know, they're gonna give you everything that they got because they know they can be, you know, sent home. You know, so I come in with that same mindset, that same desperate mindset on, you know, I feel the same way. You know, if we don't win, then I feel like we get sent home, and that's just always been my motive. That's always been my psyche, my mindset going into a closeout game, and I haven't always been, you know, victorious, but I have that mindset, and hopefully we can do just that on Wednesday.
Tanya Ganguly?
Giorgio was asked today about that situation, and he was asked, what can we do for him?
Say that again? Was last
one? He was asked, what can we do for him to help? He said, he can't do anything. He shouldn't even come as part of this. I wonder, I know your thoughts on that have been a little bit different. I wonder what your reaction to that is.
I don't have any reaction to George Hill's comment. Everyone has their opinion to, you know, in reaction to what happened. What I can say is that if you're sitting here telling me that there was no way to subdue that gentleman or detain him or to just before the firing of guns, then you're sitting here and you're lying to not only me, you're lying to every African American, every black person in the community, because we see it over and over and over. There was multiple, if you watch the video, there was multiple moments where if they wanted to, they could have tackled him, they could have grabbed him. You know, they could have done that. And why does it always have to get to a point where we see the guns firing and his family is there, the kids are there, it's in broad daylight, and who knows? I mean, if that video is not being taken by that person across the street, do we even know if we even see that video? There's like talks about that the cops didn't even have their body cams on. That's a possibility. It's just quite frankly, in our community, and us, I know people get tired of hearing me say it, but we are scared as black people in America. Black men, black women, black kids, we are terrified, because you don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea how that cop that day left the house. You don't know if he woke up on the good side of the bed. You don't know if he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You don't know if he had an argument at home with a significant other. You know if one of his kids said something crazy to him and he left the house steaming. Or maybe he just left the house saying that today is going to be the end for one of these black people. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It hurts. It hurts. And it's this through the grace of God that he's still living. Like 7 shots, close range, and he's still alive. That's through the grace of God right there. And my prayers goes out to that family and that community. But I got nothing nice to say about those cops at all. At all.
Is it hard to play basketball when you see something like that and have this fear and anger and all the emotions of
I had so many emotions today because today is for our organization. It's a big moment for our organization. Today is Kobe Bryant Day. We're supposed to be celebrating and rejoicing and remembering everything he's ever done, not only on the floor but off the floor, of uplifting the game of basketball. And at the same time, I see the video today for the first time, and my emotions is all over the place. And I still have a job to do because I'm here, because I committed. And when I commit to something, I feel like I have to come through on it. That's just who I am. But it does not mean that I don't see what's going on and I won't say anything or continue to use my platform and continue to use my voice and continue to uplift all the other athletes, that let them know that they can say and do what's right and not fear what other people's opinions are. It's tough. It's tough, and like we want change. As a community, we really want change, and it doesn't not only just end in November, but it starts there. It starts there, and but we got to continue to still keep our foot on the pedal. Then, even if we get what we want, we still need more. What are we getting? Because right now, of what's going on is just not okay, and. But I hope I can continue to uplift my community, uplift communities all over America, uplift the black community. Like I said, that's part of the reason why I started More Than a Vote, to, just to get people to understand how important our voices are. And the luxury of partnering with the NAACP today, trying to get younger kids in there to help with the polls and things of that nature because of COVID, and the older generation are at risk, and it's just so much that we have to do. It's not like it's going to happen tomorrow, but being organized and having a plan and keeping our keeping our feet on the gas pedal is something that we got to do. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but my emotions is all over the place as well. It's really, I can't even enjoy a playoff win right now, which is which is the sad part.
All right, we're just gonna take a couple more. Kyle.
Sorry, I know there's an emotional thing.
No, you can ask me anything. It's all
like you told us a couple weeks ago that you had this desire maybe to be out there with some of the Black Lives Matter marches and things like that. Obviously, here you have to take the behind closed doors approach to a lot of these issues. How do you kind of balance maybe your desire to have your hands on the situation versus the need to kind of have that organized plan?
I don't think I'm behind closed doors because I can get up in right now and talk to you guys about what's going on. Anything that my name is attached to is going to be put out, and we want to do things that hits home and do things that's grand and not something that's just one off. So I'm having conversations every day. I got half of my brain locked in on the playoffs and the other half locked in on how the hell I can help black people become greater in America. And that's what it's all about. Anybody got another one?
Mark Medina?
Yeah, LeBron, to follow on what you're talking about with this whole situation, the importance of voting. What expectations do you have of what reforms need to be implemented so that police are held accountable when they kill them?
I don't want to sit here and say that I know exactly what should be done, but I did see one thing about the level of time in the academy before you become a police officer. I think it was like, I don't know, I don't want to mess it up, but I know it wasn't that long till you go in an academy, and then becoming a police officer. We got kids that's going to college 3 or 4 years, 6 years, to get, their masters, if they even have to, go again, and they still don't even get the opportunity at the workspace or the job that they actually want to get. But we have people who are going into the academy who's becoming police officers in a year or two or whatever. You guys can look it up and then tell me. So I don't want to get it wrong, but and I think firearms are a huge issue in America. I don't know how you clean that up. I'm not saying that I got all the answers, but guns are a huge issue in America, and they're not used for just hunting, that a lot of people do for sport. We right now, for black people right now, we are hunting. We think it's you hunting us. Unfortunately, there's just too many killings going on, and not only from the cops, but we also have our own thing that we got to deal with, that we got to get better at as well. The black on black crime, we got to get better at that as well. But what we continue to see from the people that's supposed to serve and protect, when I was in elementary and they used to come, to the elementary and they used to talk about how they used, great to give us T-shirts, the crime dog used to come to the Dare, yeah. They used to come give us T-shirts. We was like happy to see him. I even had a couple, cops that I, growing up that I was like happy to see every now and then. But you always had like in the back of your head, you was like, just got to be careful. You always got to stay on your toes because you just don't know. You just don't know. I seen a video a few months ago. Was it a few months ago or maybe a couple months ago? A police officer rolled past and a kid was in his parking lot shooting basketball. Y'all seen that one? Yeah. And as soon as the damn cop was about to ride by, the kid walked behind his dad's truck and waited for the cop to go by. No kid should have to feel that threatened that he has to hide at his own house. That is sad. But I know what he's going through because I was one of those kids when I lived in the projects that when I seen a cop going, we hid behind the brick wall and waited for it to roll out. And if we seen the cop lights come on, we ran. Even if we didn't do nothing wrong. Because we were just scared.
It's tough. LeBron James speaking with the media, 30 points in under 30 minutes. You see who's done it in the history of the Lakers in the playoffs. It's Kareem, AD the other night, Byron, and now LeBron James. He had 30 on 10 of 12 in 28 minutes. We'll get to LeBron and basketball in a moment, Karan. LeBron and others, we saw CP3 tonight continuing to use their platform to speak about social injustice that is going on in this country and in your home state of Wisconsin that we all saw today on Twitter.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that they continue to do so because a lot of people felt like once we elected to play the game of basketball again that all these social issues will fall by the wayside. And it's clearly not the case. You saw Stephanie Reddy, which did a remarkable job. Allie Clifton had brought that to my attention that, you know, in real time, CP just had a amazing performance.
That was after his Oklahoma City win.
Immediately, he just talks about social justice, reform, some of the things we should be doing, given our efforts and our attention to Kenosha County. And LeBron just did the same thing. And I'm still, I tell you, I've been in a comfortable situation in my life for quite some time, but I'm still paranoid when law enforcement is behind me, or if I'm pulled over, anything like that. So that is a problem. That's a systemic issue. That's something that needs to continue to be addressed, and it's going to continue to be highlighted. And we have to continue to bring those issues to the forefront.
James, I know if you can think back to when you were in the playoffs, just how different this is for guys in this situation, a global pandemic. Here they are in a bubble in Orlando, going through what we're going through in our country. And LeBron said it tonight. It's hard to even enjoy a playoff win. And you saw where his focus was tonight. I know you're proud of these guys. It's just it's a rare time. I know you can't even imagine that being the case. You guys were in a locker room. You'd have a reporter in front of you. It's just a different time. And they're doing a great job with it. They are recognizing that you know there are things that are more important than basketball and the game itself. Everyone wants to see sports come back, but I was very impressed also with CP3 and recognizing that they do have a platform and people are listening to them more so than they would read in the newspaper or follow the news. And so, you know, I remember the Rodney King incident. And after that video, we were all shocked and how that, you know, weighed on us going forward and how, you know, we didn't have the biggest platform as they did. We didn't use it like they did, but they've had multiple, Breonna Taylor, you know, Floyd, and now 7 times in the back. They're not going to stop, you know, speaking for justice. Did you see what happened after he got it? Zoom.
Another fun tweet here. Chase down block, push and transition, two-handed over the head, pass for a 3. Seen it so many times from Bron, but it's always special. Former teammate there, Kevin Love. And now Anthony Davis saw his streak of 20 and 10 games in the playoffs end at 15, but he only played 18 minutes in the blowout. He's speaking with the media.
Hey, Anthony. It's Dave. Can you just first tell me how your back's doing, and then also please reflect on the strong performance you guys had on a night where obviously you're wearing that jersey right now?
Back is doing fine. I'll be fine. But we came out very dominant. You know, obviously we know they were going to play with a sense of desperation, and we want to be the harder playing team. And we came out with that sense of urgency that we need on both ends of the floor. You know, we were able to, you know, win this, you know, on a very emotional and special night for us, wearing the Kobe jerseys, and realizing that the first time we, you know, played again after the tragedy was also against Portland. They was able to take that one from us at home, but you know, we just wanted to make sure that we did everything we could to get this win for him.
Hey, Anthony, Frank Vogel mentioned the plus 37 in your 17 minutes and just what you got going on both ends. Was there anything specifically that you thought helped you get to that level of effectiveness? Maybe Kobe stuff going on? What got you to that level tonight?
I was just being aggressive. My whole thing just be aggressive for the rest of the time I'm here. I don't want to come out and not be aggressive. The team needs me to be aggressive, and I've been able to, find spots that I'm very comfortable and just take my time to make shots. So we're also making the right reads, and guys are making shots. So, when we're making shots, from the perimeter, from inside the paint, it opens the floor for everyone, and I just have to, take my time and make shots.
And you just wonder what it's like playing with LeBron in this mode in the playoffs, right? If you see a different level that you had seen in the past watching him in the postseason, and how you two play off each other.
Obviously, we kicked it up a notch. His level of focus is definitely increased, and the entire team's level of focus increased. He's very detailed about everything. He's in there with the coaches for film sessions. He's talking to me during film sessions, off the court. When we're not, more so talking about basketball, we talking about anything else, might be watching other games or playing video games or whatever, and something just registers in his head, and he just, talks about it. So, he wants to win, I want to win, and we know that it's going to take both of us to do it, and the entire team. And so we're just trying to continue to find ways to get better, even after, wins like this. There's always something that we can get better at for Game 5. And, I'm pretty sure that he's going to have a list of things for me tomorrow and for our team. And so as the coaching staff, we try to get better.
Go, Tanya Ganguly.
Just talking about for a while about fear that
I didn't hear that.
the fear that black people will and describe himself as the hero of police car run if they went to Solomon's. I just wondered from your experience growing up in Chicago, what did you associate with police with? What was your experience?
Obviously, growing up in the inner city, what Bron said is kind of the truth. I was, fortunate to, have everything I needed at home. I had a basketball ring in my backyard. Both my parents was there. Both my parents worked, had cars. Were able to go to a school outside of the inner city. But I still live in the inner city, and I've seen things, and from my perspective, from both sides, from the police side and from, the black side, and it's just, I don't know, it just has to get better, honestly. But like Bron said, like growing up, you see things that kind of make you afraid of the police, for sure, and it kind of just stays with you as you grow up. And then obviously the things that's going on now and happened today, with Jacob Blake, which is totally unacceptable. And we definitely want to use our voices for that, victim as well. And he's one of the lucky ones because he survived, and he's stable. So I'm pretty sure he's going to have a lot to say as well, him and his family. But it kind of just carries with you, for your life. And once you see the current events that's going on today, it just make you go back to your childhood and remember, why you're afraid. And I don't have any, teenage boys, but I know Bron talks about all the time with his two kids, and it's just a tough situation. The world is scary right now. And the most we can do is use our voices. Bron talked to us about voting all the time. He started, his organization for everyone to vote, and that's kind of where it starts for us. Again, kind of continuing to push the envelope on wanting change, and we have to do our part, and we know we're here for basketball, but that's not only our main focus. Our main focus on social injustice, and we're lucky to have a ton of guys who are public figures. Like Brian, CP, all these guys who, always on the forefront and speaking out and able to kind of guide the younger guy.